All right, welcome everybody. I'm Mick Cipra, and I'm met today with Daniel and Josh, and we are to sing Josh's accolades for winning the Winter 2021 tournament.
All on the back of Sengor Loop.
That was a pretty amazing play. Yeah, that was the third game. Yeah, that was the exciting one. That one was really, really close.
Yeah, that was a game where well, what sucked is that when the whole thing started, right? Like we're starting up the call, and I'm reviewing the scum pod, and I'm like, okay, Iggy's not a big deal, the ship's not a big deal, and I just run through and I look at sensor loop, and I'm like, I got a feeling I'm gonna get blown out by this card because I'm gonna forget it exists, and it's gonna be a problem. And then yeah, like the last game, when I was thinking of all the things Josh could have had on that turn. Sensor loop, I didn't even think about it. Like it wasn't on my radar. There was a couple things that were on my radar, so I was like, if I push all in, there was a couple scenarios where going all in on the objective could go bad. So I was like, okay, well, I have the tactics. I can get some distraction attacks, get rid of the sandcrawler, and then get rid of the ship also, and then just like walk in for the final objective kill. Right. And then I just didn't even think about the sensor loop. So. And then it was like, oh, now I'm just
amazed that Mist Hunter with Zuckus and I think Forlom on it too. At the end there, just how much work that ship was doing, because it was in every engagement.
I think he had the Forlom on it, so he was able to untap it more often.
Right. It made you not bid fate cards or so in some attacks. That light side had to be cognizant if they were putting in. Yeah. Like an ally.
It was like this thing where you put the fate cards once he's already in the conflict. Like when he's untapped, you can throw all the fate cards you want, but when he's tapped, you have to make sure not to put fate cards.
Because he could free up, and then Mist Hunter can declare itself in. Yeah, that one was rough. The fourth game was a bit of a blowout.
Yeah, it wasn't recorded. No need to record it. It was just awful, like start to finish. It was just
like light side has lots of good stuff.
I knew it was going well when I could have played a turn 1 Falcon and didn't bother.
Yeah. I remember I looked at my opening hand and I'm like, okay, well, I'm about to lose. And then I see his, because like my opening hand was terrible. And I thought, okay, there's one way out of this. And it's, I have the Caesar event. If I can kill his money, maybe he ends up with just as bad of a hand as I have. And then we're on equal footing. And it turns out, nope. The event didn't do anything, like because he still flipped into the same color money, and then it turns out his hand was just all gas. So that one sucked, but I feel like games 2 and 3, and honestly game 1 too, all of them were very close, right? Like they were all 50-50.
Yeah, the first 3 games were very exciting to watch.
So like Josh could have won the first game, I could have won either of the 2 next games, and it's just like a couple decisions that swing it. And so, like, as much as like game 4 was not fun on my end to get blown out that hard, that's not really what I've thought about. I've thought about like, okay, if I just shove everyone in, the sensor loop's not a problem, right? In game 3, and then in game 2, there was a situation where I could have killed the Rex early and I didn't, and then that ended up compounding as a mistake later.
Those also, ones were salvageable.
Also, if you didn't play a character, like you hard cast to Steve, which like enabled my bamboozles.
That was like another thing too. I didn't have literally anything else though, and I think I needed to take the Force or something. Like there was like a reason I felt I had to play him, but yeah, like that's a game where there was choices that I could have made that maybe swing it, and it was still winnable, right? Like it's a very small mistake that gets it, and that's oftentimes what happens in like close Star Wars games is. There's a little mistake here, a little mistake there. And a lot of what the beauty of this game is that there aren't right answers, right? Like every single decision is almost like when you're gambling at a poker table where you're like, okay, I have 53% equity here. Do I feel good about this or not, right? And then if your opponent has the cards, then it's one way, and if they don't have the cards, it's another way. Because there's times too where people will see an opponent with like 5 cards in hand and they think I can't attack here because they have too many cards, but all their cards are garbage. Like they don't have any fake cards, they have no pips. And if you go in there, you completely blow them out, but then they don't take the opportunity because they're scared. So that happens too. And that's like a harder mistake to evaluate. Like it's really easy to look at something you did that didn't work out than it is to look at something you didn't do that could have been the difference. You know.
And like the attrition factors in Star Wars are like so weird because you can't really do hand attrition as much. But like a lot of times I'll definitely sacrifice a guy to block just to get a few cards out of your hand, even if it's temporary, because then maybe I'll have an easier time attacking.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes that's worth sacking even a medium to a main character for.
Oh, or you're just trying to deplete their edge hand so that your counterattack is more likely to be with you having the edge. I was really pleased at how I think still close the light side and dark side ratios were in this pool. It definitely felt tilted towards the light side, but dark side could still win games.
Yeah, which is weird because like when we were building, I felt like dark side had such an advantage, but
the Rex factor, right? Like once it became clear to everyone that Rex is insane, because I think people sort of forget how good he is. And then it's like, oh, okay, everyone just started kind of migrating towards that, I feel.
Yeah. I also expected to see a lot more Echo Caverns. It's like why I like started the first pod that went into my deck was Jawas. And then like I built around that.
Yeah, that's why I cut
against
them.
any, I think.
I don't know, like I feel like when I played because I had a deck that had 2 Jawas, that's how my dark side deck initially was, instead of the Palpatines. And I just found myself not getting rewarded for it, right? It just seemed like if I put the Jawas in...
I only do a 1. I always only do a 1.
I don't know. I could just never find the enhancement kill, and people playing enhancements I actually want to kill. It's like I could kill a resource, like a training grounds or something, but I could seemingly never get like an Echo Caverns or a Rex enhancement at the right time. Whereas it felt like the moment I took the Jawas out, everyone and their mother was playing killer enhancements, and it just never lined up, and I figured, whatever, I'm just not going to worry about it.
Sometimes they have so much gas. I think I did hit Donovan's Rex enhancement with an Utini, and then he just played the second one.
Yeah. But you could have been facing 2 of them.
I could have been facing 2 of them, yeah. I would have lost faster.
Yes, silver bullets are kind of harder to play in this game than other games, because like in a lot of other games that have static draws, you're incentivized to hold cards. So if you have like an Utini in another game, you can sit on that for like 4 turns until they play the card. In this game, you can't sit on cards for too long. They just way too detrimental.
Yeah.
So like it's just harder to run like these like really narrow responses. Like that's why like the event cancel, the Yoda one, and even the Navy one, they've never seen consistent play because they cost $1, and you can't just float $1 and hold onto a card for multiple turns, you know.
Yeah, 3PO is a lot better at that.
Yeah,
I definitely had matches though, like where the objective did work, like especially with Dengar's objective out. You can free capture right off the bat, and his chuds can move it around, so Dengar objectives active everywhere. It's really nice with Iggy D.
Okay, so as our champion from winter 2021,
I would like to talk about the fan pods were great. Like I had a blast playing them. Sadly, I didn't run any of yours.
But... they're not as good. It's fine.
I will say I gave Mick's pods a lot of burn when, like, at the sort of height of like gladiator paranoia for me, because once it was clear that you could put a late development via gladiator, I wanted an answer for it. And so my thought was, okay, well, I'll just play the Mick pods, because Mick pods have very strange edge battle shenanigans that can counteract the gladiators. And while I didn't end up running them because I think just running teamwork was better, they got some burn, right? Like it's not like I didn't give them a shot. I think the only pod that I didn't really give a shot was the wedge pod.
Yeah, I saw a lot of Staz throughout the tournament.
You were on that side of the bracket. Yeah.
Staz is good.
I wasn't thinking about it, but he does definitely sort of take the bite out of light side having 10 cards per turn.
Yeah. Yeah, there were definitely times where I just held off my attack because if they had 2 3s, I couldn't have. I knew I was losing edge.
No way. Yeah, it doesn't matter how many
cards. So when I submitted my list, I made sure I had plenty of guys with edge 1 because they kind of counteract him a little bit.
Mm. Yeah, I think he was my most popular pod in the cut, but
yeah, it was good to see those.
That one was real good.
Yeah. I think there was less Ezra than I think there should have been, and I think just Jedi in general, because I think the power of Rex was so good that people just sort of slept on mono Jedi in general.
Yeah, I had 3 Jedi pods in, and I was actually expecting to see more Pilot Fett. So, like, all 3 of my Jedi pods had enhancements in them.
And those are quite good, too, with the Rex objective. So that works nicely. Yeah, I thought it was super fun to have the fan cards included in a minor fashion in the card pool, and they were basically optional because the other pods were so strong that you didn't have to play them. But they created some fun interactions like that Signar loop, right, Danny?
Yeah, I think that they were at the right power level, because you don't want the fan cards to be stronger than the base cards, because then people feel they have to play them and they might get mad. And there were some people that just straight up didn't play in a tournament just because they saw the existence of fan cards, which is unfortunate. But you didn't have to play them, and if the fan cards get played in later pools, that's probably the way they should be done. Whereas like you make probably the pool first and figure out what power level that pool's at, and then pick the fan cards that are almost at that power level but not quite, where you would play like 1 or 2 of them but not build an entire deck around them.
All right, new pool.
Yeah, new pool. So, as the winner from the winter tournament, you get to take us in an entirely new direction. So, what was your thought process here?
So when we after the game died and we started our little council, there was lots of talk on how we would do like a 2.0 or like a new core or anything like that. It never really came to fruition, but we had a lot of talk. And my base idea was that since money was such a problem, to have like a young Jedi style like set of 10 cards in your deck, where like you'd be able to put like money first and fate cards, and then put the pods in after that, and just have 1 less card in each pod. So effectively, you'd have like 4 cards from each pod going in, and then you'd have like 10 cards that you'd actually build, whether you want money or different fate cards or what have you in there. And so we're gonna take that for a test drive. We already know with replacements that taking a bad card out of a good pod makes that good pod go even higher. So now we're going to try taking bad cards out of really bad pods.
Oh boy.
So what we're going to do is when you build your deck, you're going to start with 6 basic 1/1 monies, limiteds, Sith libraries, what have yous. And then we're going to have we're all going to have 1 twist, 1 target, 1 heat, and 1 protection. So
everybody's locked into those 10.
Yeah, everybody's locked into those. So your deck is 10 cards before you start. And then when you build your pool, when you build your deck, you're picking exactly 10 pods out of the pool. And then every pod that you put in, you have to pull 1 card out of your choice.
And it can't be the objective.
And it makes sense that like probably like at the start of the game, you would tell your opponent, here are the 10 cards I pulled out. Right, so you effectively tell them your deck list when you do that.
I don't think we need to do that.
I don't think you need to do that. Just whenever we post deck lists, you just put the pod and then like a dash.
-4, -6.
Well, I'm just thinking like it'd be good to be able to reference it, because let's say I'm trying to play around. Like, let's say someone puts Bail Organa in their deck, right? And I see Bail, and I'm afraid of his event that moves damage, but that's the card that got pulled. It'd be nice to know that it got pulled, so I don't have to play around it.
No, you still got to play around it during the Swiss.
You have to be scared of that the whole game.
Plus, let's be honest, that's not the card that gets pulled from that pod.
No, I'm just saying, like that would
be these pods over here. There's going to be cards that get cut that your opponent's not going to be worried about.
I think we'll develop a sense of, well, they're obviously not playing this one, but there might be a couple pods that could go either direction.
Yeah. Like, for example, OG Dengar, anyone who plays that's pulling his money. Prove me wrong, but...
Let's see, that pod has Dengar ships the money. What's the last card?
Target.
Oh, yeah, you can keep the target. Yeah, the money's gone.
Yeah, that's the worst money in the game. Yeah.
That pod's actually a beast. We played that in Devil's Draft, and it was.
Yeah. No, I mean, overall the pods are like maybe a quarter of the power level of the last pool was. that might be generous, but they work together well. I think we'll have some neat games. So some of the other things I was looking at when building this is that. Taking the Force is actually going to have to be a choice. There's not a lot of elite floating around. There's not going to be a lot of auto commits. So you're going to have to really think about that. And then there's not going to be... The game's going to slow down a bit, I feel. And we're going to have a lot of noodle attacks, like small guys versus small guys.
Star Wars, my favorite. Okay, so let me just try to understand this format again. When you build your deck, it has to be exactly 10 objectives. Okay, so people who like running 11 or for God's sake 12, like can't do that today.
Oh. I mean, I guess if you're adamantly opposed,
No, I like the 10. Okay, so you get your 10 objectives, and then from each objective, you go through and you pluck out one of the cards, 2 through 6, and you do that 10 times. So you can't pull out 2 cards from the same objective set.
Right.
Every single objective of your 10 needs to be trimmed down to 4 cards that you can draw. And then you throw in 6/1/1 monies and a heat, a target, a protection, and a twist.
Yep.
All right, so there's a lot of utility here.
Yeah, so when you're building your deck, you don't have to worry about money at all because you already have it. I mean, if you want extra, go ahead. But this also lets like some deck types like come to pass that just were impossible before because they didn't have any money.
All right. Well, I'm ready to go and look at this card pool here.
All right, just a warning for people who are excited about running the power last set.
I mean, there's going to be powerful pods. It's all about the environment.
There's targeted strike in this pool. That's what you have to know.
Ooh. Okay. Is this showing for y'all?
My other hope is that people stretch their muscles, their creative muscles, and play with pods they've never really played with before.
I mean, I've played with all of these pods.
Well, not everyone are psychos like us.
There's some that I have not looked over. Can you see my mouse when I scroll over things? So we'll have to see if this recording, if this is visible. If it doesn't come through, this card pool list will be posted on Cardgamedb after the video's made. Okay, let's just make this a little bit bigger and start over with Jedi. So we got last minute rescue.
Redemption.
Very fun.
Nice. You got Return of the Jedi. You Force Rejuve. Ooh. There's some good combat tricks here.
And a no icon shielding guy.
So what gets pulled in that pod? Is it always the no icons guy, or do you look at the
you could maybe pull return if you're putting this in a different deck. Like if you're like splashing.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, okay.
Might pull the emergency repair.
The emergency repair can like buy you a turn sometimes though. Like
that could be useful. I'm hesitant, like in these pods. So I think we're going to see this a couple times where there's a pod with like a main and then just a god awful chud, and that's it. It's like not even a unit. Like that thing has no icons.
Yeah, definitely be careful always pulling the bad chuds though, because
Right, you need units.
Yeah,
I don't think you can afford to pull that chud. Okay, we also got Jedi training.
Yeah, so there are definitely some shenanigans that are going to be available with the picking up cards out of your discard.
Jedi training might not be bad in the sense that the objective
and
the enhancement might be abnormally useful in this format.
Yeah.
You might pull out the enhancement that contributes to the Force.
It has 3 dots.
That has 3 pips.
It does have 3 dots.
There's a lot of candidates in that pod. Like you can pull out the 3 dots. You can pull out the recursion if you don't have a ton of great recursion.
Yeah, if you're not using that recursion. What's the last?
Both of those chuds, if you have enough units in your deck, are prime candidates to get cut.
True. There might be units with. So here's a pod with absolutely no units, and it's not getting any better once you cut. That's beyond. I think that's your protection on light side, though. Just throw out those old bin spirits.
So in that pod, you probably cut the.
I feel like they can. I feel like they can determine what they want to cut in each pod. I don't know. We need to do that for every pod we see.
Theory craft. It's the weapon mastery.
Yeah. The plus guns is not great.
I don't know. There's a lot of sneaky weapons in this pool.
You keep the heat. Speaking about heats, like Heroes Resolve, we got more heats here. Okay,
the
so
Resolve actually has a bunch of good cards. Like the only cuttable card is the ship. You know.
I don't think you want to cut that card.
You kind of need the ship, but
yeah, that's the problem, right? Like unless you're playing it with a whole bunch of other ships. I think with Jedi in particular, it's tough because they have the least amount of units.
You could probably cut the Tauntaun, depending.
Yeah, the Tauntaun could just become a prized possession.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
a light side thing. Okay, now here's a pod close to my heart. Deep Commitment. You just had to put Ferris in here to...
Yeah, guys, we have a pod in this pool that has won a Worlds.
Isn't there a couple in here that have won Worlds? There's... Actually, maybe that's the only one.
Maybe that's the only one. We'll have to note that as we go through. Oh, of course, this next pod, A New Beginning, that won a Worlds. That's got Ahsoka.
Oh, yeah, you have here. Yeah.
So you could run both Ferris and...
Yeah, and you are on your way to winning Worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah, just play your limited Cardpool deck, and the next time we get together for Worlds.
Yeah. Talk about, like, not having good chuds.
All right. Well, no, here's some good chuds.
This has 3 units, and they're all fairly decent, too.
I actually love that pod a lot.
Yeah, they're all sparkable.
Is
spark in here?
No.
I think if there's a card you cut out of that pod, it's actually the Fate card.
Yeah.
Oh, the prep and planning.
Yeah, it's just really hard to pull that off. All 3 of the units are good, and then
wait, does that have Return of the Jedi?
How you feel with the gold?
Return of the Jedi's.
There's 4 return. You can run 4 Return of the Jedi's if you want. That's why. I was looking at Core Obi for a while, but Core Obi with 4 Return of the Jedi's is no bueno.
Yeah, the returns don't have a ton of great targets here. It's like you have Ahsoka, you have the Luke, and then
Ferris. And you can Return of the Jedi Luke and then put him on a ship, right?
I mean, if you have the Force, returning a Godel is fine.
Yeah, like there's like cute little plays. Like you could return the little Jedi from Jedi training if you need 2 guns.
You can return a Rebel Kyle Katarn.
Yeah, I thought he's only Force sensitive.
Oh, is he?
Okay.
Yeah. He's the bad guy.
I've never actually played him very well, so
He can get Ahsoka's lightsaber. That's pretty fun.
You can get an Ezra.
Ooh, Hero of 1,000 Devices. There's a well-equipped so that you can use big attacks.
Well-equipped is one of my favorite Fate cards, so I had to squeeze I had to squeeze it in.
Well, that pod, I love it in general. And you know the C-3PO is gonna have targets to kill in this format because everyone has 1-for-1 monies.
Has to run the 1-1s. We got Bad Ezra. Talk about another low unit count pod. It's him and a cat.
It's him, the cat. I think the event with Sabine on it is really bad.
Are there other Spectres here? Because his objective actually, what is it? You need 2 different Spectres out on the board?
Yeah, Chopper.
Yeah.
Chopper and the Chud and Chopper set.
So there's your force control. You run Bad Ezra, Chopper, and Jedi training.
Which actually, they go pretty well together. I wanted Sabine in because you can build like a discard deck with like them and Gamblo that works really well. But
in the helmet.
Sabine was a little too strong for the pool, I think, so she had to go.
Yeah, and to round it off, we of course have dice.
Yeah, I mean we might as well start calling these dice pools, but
These are dice pools.
I think he's the only card that's been in like every single pool.
Okay, I guess we'll go down here. So we it looks like each side gets 1 neutral objective to play with. Light side's getting to arms.
Yeah.
This
every color has a weapon.
Oh, okay. Wait, we don't have a bow rifle. What's the shock prod?
And
you're forgetting about one important one.
Hold-out blaster.
Oh,
blaster.
So not having Sabine, that I think is a real sadness, is that you can't make some really interesting holdout blaster decks because you don't have.
It has to go on a yellow guy. That's why I wanted Sabine.
Decks, they would be pretty good. Okay, so Rebels has always been a solid light side choice in all of these seasonal pools because they just have so much utility. So what did you throw in?
The other thing is like Rebels only have like about 3 or 4 pods that are too good for these pools. Like,
oh right, the rest of the pods are like, hey, we actually shine now.
Yeah, Rebels has one of the biggest pools of like medium level cards.
Truly.
Yeah, they're unlike Jedi. Like I think that's why Dice goes in every pool, because Jedi pods are either insane or terrible. And Rebel has a lot of like C+ pods that don't seem like any play at competitive play, but are interesting.
Let's be honest, Daniel. Like this Jedi, these 10 Jedi pods, this is not even close to the terrible side on Jedi.
No,
there were some good contenders.
It's got some of it, but when we were playing Devil's Draft, oh man, it was miserable.
Yeah. So like there's no like double Godels, there's no Daughters of Lay, and there's no Moisture Farmers.
No Moisture Farmers.
But outside of that, it's got most of the bad stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so Rebels, we got Akbar.
He's always near and dear to my heart too.
I kind of want to track like which pods for light side. Like, where are you getting your tactics? And I think Akbar is a legitimate tactics source.
Yeah, that was a big consideration. I think Akbar might be one of the only units. Oh no, Tidarium with 2 tactics in the whole pool.
You can run both of them.
Yeah.
Hoodie Han. That's got 3
pods that I love.
Yeah, that's got 3 real units.
I guess you cut the money because you get lots of money.
Yeah.
That one's solid.
You could almost cut my girl, but she's still pretty good.
Shielding and white tactics?
Yeah.
She's good.
Well, you can cut the Battle of Hoth, I think, because like the units are all fine in that pod, and then the money is really, really good.
It depends on if you want the pips or not. Over the money.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Like, that would put you up to 7 1-1s. Because you have to have the other 3 or 6. Bale. That's another good unit pod. You got
in theory, that could help
the Force. You just put the artist on the Force.
Yeah. Yeah. She does cost a low amount, though, so she might be in danger. from something.
I mean, I would be really happy if that's what happened. Mm-hmm. Oh, here's how you hold the Force. Green Squadron deployment.
Yeah. Rebel vehicles have a hard enough time in life, so they actually have the easiest time holding the Force in this pool.
Is that the Liberty one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the one that bounces a guy if it's committed.
Yeah. That one is pretty real. That's good text.
Yeah, that's also like the only good card in the pool.
Yeah, the event's the one like instant cut, I think.
I don't know. The event's
money-
kind of cool. The event goes with Colsera's ship really well.
Oh.
Yeah. It says it reshuffles it or it bounces it.
Puts it in your hand, I think. It's like when a vehicle leaves play, put it in your hand, I think.
Okay, I mean, I guess there's that.
Sarah's in here. Solid. Heroes of the Rebellion. Hey, there's a nice.
That's a pretty real pod. It's maybe more real than it should be for this book.
I think that's how you.
Well, I think the objective is going to be a lot less real than it would be in a pool with better cards, right? Because there's just not a lot of targeting effects in this pool.
Yeah.
So
Right.
like you're not getting this like global protection that you would otherwise be getting.
Yeah, you don't care about the objective text. I think you're running it for the 4 uniques.
Yeah. And the event can find Luke.
And you cut the event.
Luke was errated to have pilot, right? Oh no, he has the trait. Yeah, he's good.
We got Engineering the Future. That was such a weird pod.
It might be Blow Six's time.
It might. I mean, he's a double bomb unit.
It's a fun pod.
Got some card draw.
And a bit of protection.
And wonky protection.
Yeah.
I think the resource is what I cut out of that. Because I weirdly liked the event. And then I loved the 3 units. All of them.
Personally, I'd cut the event just because the timing's always weird on it for me. Like, it's cool if like you have tauntauns and stuff, like dude money.
Yeah, I think you could go either way. I've both found them difficult to play at times, and then I've seen them both do great things as well. Oh, you put in GA Leia here. Oh no.
Yeah, but there's no judder, so she's tame.
It's late on bomb.
What ways do you have to activate the chuds?
You just cut a chud.
Okay, so like they're the instant cut. Because I was looking, I'm thinking I don't see any like self capture here except for Leia herself.
Your Lando is in for a bit, Tamtel.
Yeah.
But he's by himself. He was too good. Like
too much blast.
3 cost, 4 icons elite, and double blast on him. He was too good.
Okay, so Leia, you're just always killing the chud.
I feel like you just always cut one of the boffins.
I don't know, in these slow formats, having like 2 health double black gun units is.
Yeah, I mean they're still fine, and if they get killed, like they get captured themselves to activate their buddies, so you could cut the event, but the event can add some surprising bombs. It's also 3 pips, so.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Next is a pod that's not really worth noting, right?
And Mick, this is your time here. If Kyle can't be a top pod in this pool, it's never happening for him.
It's never gonna happen. Okay, Kyle. Now's your time to shine. I mean, he's targeted strike.
I think he's the only one. Also, so if he's the only targeted strike in the entire light side pool, and he's not able to make it happen, there's just nothing there.
Well, I guess we'll have to see how many tactics Darkseid winds up with. He always, like, for me, he would get an attack, and then the counterattack would lock him down. And
yeah, I feel like whoever made him could have maybe added some words on him, like maybe elite.
Yeah.
Or maybe we'll actually see the money, like, do work.
I'd actually rather have Mon Mothma be elite than Kyle be elite in that pod.
Yeah. Yeah, but the money can make them both elite.
Hey, there you go.
You can. Okay, and then we got Porkins.
Yeah, so he's pretty solid.
I think Alliance's Elite is actually interesting. Like that's a pod that's much like Heroes of the Rebellion has never gotten.
Oh yeah.
Just because like there's no money, right? Like there's interesting cards in there, but you're too broke if you play both of those pods.
And then like there were other vehicle pods that like were shine so much more.
Yeah.
It's very good in this pool. Looks like.
Okay, so 5 icons there. Yeah, and then Porkins.
There's a lot of neat tricks snuck in there. Like if you look hard.
There are, yeah. I really like the protection. I like the force flipping thing.
There's a lot of neat things going on with vehicles leaving play if you look closely. So.
Can Porkins activate if he's on Cole Sarah's ship?
I forget. I think.
Yeah, because Cole Sarah's X-wing, you can pop back to hand as a choice, right? Or I guess you're discarding it to swindle a guy.
Yeah. So you can get a free 2.
And that's got 3 units in it.
Kind of.
Hey, no, I mean that both ends fine. That both ends fine. He's got a black gun.
Oh yeah, we're on Smuggler. Yeah. Oh no, yeah. You keep all 3 units in for reasons.
Yep.
Because they overtrade.
That's coming up later. But on the second one, we got Holdout Blaster.
Very near and dear to my heart.
Okay, but there's no Sabine.
No, so I think the card you probably cut in that pod is the event that bounces.
Yeah, or one of the Chuds.
I think the Chuds are fine. Like they're 1 cost, 1 blast, and if they're about to die, you can bounce them.
Yeah,
like they're fine units. Like you're not hurting if you play them. But the event can be pretty dead.
All right. Speaking of cutting Chuds, let's go to the next pod.
Oh gosh, defensive Cloud City. Is it Lobot's time?
Yeah.
Do you have enough edge to make Lobot insane?
His enhancement is like one of the best light side cards in the game, but the pod is so bad that it never sees play.
So that pod becomes Lobot, who's okay, the enhancement, which is good, protection, which is good.
Yeah, there's actually 3 very playable protection.
Yeah, that's actually fine.
All right. Rendar's Wrath. My favorite dash. The dash you can kill the Executor.
If you pay for it.
Yeah, you do have to watch out, though, because his action can only be taken 1 at a time. I had an issue in 2 tournaments ago where I had a triple money open, and I thought he could get 3 guns.
Oh,
my plans
focused. Nope.
Yeah.
Do you just cut the fate card in that? Because like that pod has good cards. Like I like the dash. I like the Chuds.
The dudes are good. I love the objective. The objective is amazing. The objective is if they block with only 1 guy, that guy takes a damage.
Ooh.
Yeah. So if you're swinging at 3 objectives a turn, it's like 3 free damage going out if they only block 1 at each.
You put on that and undercover dealings and have like a bunch of 1-drops and just try to.
Now you're thinking, Mick. Now you're thinking.
Yeah. And if they're gonna kill your undercover dealing guys, you bounce them back to hand. Yeah. And then when you replay them, they get a shield.
Yeah. Next we have House Edge.
Oh, Gambler's.
Yeah. There's a bunch of cool discard tricks in with Ezra and Chopper as well that kind of go with him. Generally, I like having them in a pool with like. Did I put her in? No, I guess not. Never mind.
Gamble himself is very good, I think, especially in this pool. Because he can just start untapping guys.
Kind of slower format. He just rips Darkside edge hands apart.
Yeah, I wanted to MoMA in with him, but so that we can pitch like big pip enhancements, then buy him out still. But MoMA was a little bit too strong for.
Yeah, he's too good.
Oh, here's some more Renegade Squadron.
Yeah. So we have 2 pods of Renegade Squad, and they can get white tactics.
This is where the gas is. Beezer is another one of those pods that has been perpetually overlooked, mostly because of the 2 health, but also just because there's better pods, and they're like the objective is kind of insane.
Yeah, and also anyone disrespecting Beezer has never had a juiced up Yoda outside of an engagement strike inside the engagement and like screw your whole plan up.
So
Right.
Beezer's event is
if you play the event, who's your ideal bring this guy in? Because I'm thinking like Akbar would be good.
Akbar, or just like any guy that you can get up to 3 guns with one of the weapons in the pool. There's plenty of 2-gun guys.
Also, pretty much any Renegade Squadron, if it's the first engagement, you can bring them. They have a tactics.
Speaking of tactics, we got the Tiderian here. Double white tactics, edge X. Nothing solid. And still APS
Secret weapons and Beyond the Rim are both pods that, like, they were trying to build up a smuggler vehicle deck at some point, but like it just never really got like the core pods to tie it together. So we'll see if they can do anything.
I like Beyond the Rim a lot. The ship that can untap itself is quite strong.
Yeah.
Is there anything in here that gives them bonuses? Like, I guess Heroes of the Rebellion, you can throw one of the pilots on there. Luke can.
No, Luke can't give it icons unless it's because I think it's a transport, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, discard a shield and give it a bomb.
You can, yeah. It's probably your best option.
Oh, Boshek's here. Is it Boshek's time?
And Boshek can double strike with a dash event, people.
Boshek's legitimately good.
He's got a
holdout blaster.
He's a reliable way to be able to win edge battles.
Or take the Force. He's one of like the few elite guys we've seen so far. It's like him and Ahsoka.
And they can't be together. It's sad. Okay, and then we got Chopper at the end here.
Yeah. There's somewhere in here a discard deck. Force your opponent to discard deck. So see
a lot of damage.
See if it does anything.
Yeah, what bums me out is like Chopper has 2 deck searches, but the cards you want to search for aren't in this pool. Well, the holdout blaster's here, but there's no Sabine.
Yeah, and you can still tutor holdout blaster with the arms. So
you can tutor, and then the other tutor, I guess you can get an Ezra, or you can get a Chopper himself. So that's probably the card that just gets cut.
Yeah. I really wanted another Spectre pod in the deck, but the problem is they're all so bonkers.
Yeah, you can't put in Sabine, you can't put in Zeb, you can't put in Kanan. Yeah.
All right, Dark Side.
Dark Side. Okay, so Sith has cruel interrogations.
Yeah. Speaking of discard decks.
I like that event. Oh man, and we got the Rancor here. Oh boy.
The Rancor could be really good actually, because you only have to run one of the Night Sisters now instead of 2.
Yeah, and the event's really good.
The event's good. The enhancement's also good.
It's got double money. I always like that.
Yeah, there's not a lot of those.
Go to the dark side to sort of pair with Jedi training is how you hold the Force.
Yeah. Ghosts. Originally, Ghosts were in Zadi, but there's like too many heats on the light side that Like I wanted Anzadi to shine, but she would just die horribly.
Okay. Oh, and Yasard in here, the investigation.
Yeah. Yasan's got some. Yasan's actually got like 3 units with tactics, right?
I think the ghost could be interesting because like those dudes contribute even while tapped. So.
Oh yeah, the event's great, and the enhancements will do work too.
Yeah, that's your Sith removal.
Yeah. All around ghosts is really good.
The questioning. Okay, so Antennas is a solid body.
Yeah, and Antennas works good with cruel interrogations. So
one thing I will note about the investigation is like I was thinking about this. So if let's say you're playing light side and you put 6 Dagobah training grounds, there's probably an incentive, like a decent enough incentive with the Saint in the pool to kind of split up your 1-for-1 monies as best you can.
Oh, yeah.
So like play like 2 training grounds, 2 Cloud City Guest Quarters, and then two of the what's the rebel one?
Hidden Base.
Yeah, the one that comes with in defense you have in 4. Just to make sure that if someone captures a 1-for-1 money, you don't just get completely hosed out of playing money the rest of the game.
Oh yeah, and they don't objective name Dagobah training grounds.
Yeah.
Well, we're done. Okay, and Sate.
Yeah.
Good recursion. Oh, is this
wait? What do you guys want to recur with Sate? Like, well, what's probably your favorite option?
So far that we've covered Ghost event or Cruel Interrogations event.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, Cruel Interrogations can be pretty gross.
Play that after they draw.
Yeah, and the draw phase action that is fierce. Yeah.
Also, it's just a lot of cards under the objective for edge. That's solid. Okay, so is Maw going to make an appearance? Is it finally his time? I keep
maybe.
So Maw has 3 guns. That's not something that should just be overlooked. He has 3 guns. He has edge.
Yeah, and he's got some enhancement hate in there. There's actually a good deal of enhancement hate in the last 3 pods we just went over. Yeah. Or in these 3 pods, the last one, this one, and the next.
Force-pull their toys.
Yeah. Yeah, there should be good force-pull targets, maybe.
What's the last card in that pod? Oh, the Jugo training, that's immediately cut, I think.
You probably don't need that. The Chud's cool. I like the Chud.
I like both of the Chuds.
Yeah.
Okay, Emperor's Cabal. That's not Sate. That's the other guy, right?
The one I always forget his name.
Simalu.
Yeah.
Simalu. Yeah. That's low key like one of my favorite. Like my favorite of the.
I like the Shadow Guard.
The guard's amazing. Yeah.
Just throwing shields everywhere.
Well, we're starting to see the Sith pods that don't see play because they don't have money.
Yeah.
And Cabal is one that I think would see a lot of play. It's just, you need to have pods that have dollars in them. And especially when you think about the event. The event's pretty cool, but you need to be able to afford it.
Yeah, the event, like that pod with Core Vader is really strong. It just, the deck never had a good money base or like to really go to town.
Got some Dragon Snakes.
Some Dragon Snakes.
They're miserable to play against. They just jump in and do.
Yeah, and hey, there's a kill spell.
There is, yeah.
Have a Feeding Frenzy.
Feeding Frenzy. Oh, and lovely, we have Mio.
And Mio, yeah. So there's almost protection in the pool, almost.
Yeah, Mio.
For Navy, I feel like let's cover the list with the last pod first.
Yeah.
So being that Danny got second, we kind of built the pool, the rough draft of the pool together because I definitely wanted his input. So it wasn't just like me or Colby only building the pool for once. And Danny was really gung-ho on the Death Star going in.
I think people are going to be able to build a Death Star.
Maybe, yeah. So our only caveat for the Death Star was that there could be like nothing else for the dudes to untap. So there are like no other capitals or stations in the Navy.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So the dudes are just dudes, right? They're one bomb, one mana cards.
Yeah. Well,
So-
they can only make money for the Death Star. They can't make money for like anything else.
Also, like the pool isn't stars for cash, right? So everyone has money, and the big reason people would play the Death Star is for money. You know?
Yeah, they can't do their action on anything else. That's the key.
And that's how they should be. They should have only ever been able to untap the Death Star. The way that pod should work is you work very hard to get the Death Star. And then once you have the Death Star, all these little engineers allow the Death Star to just wipe out your opponent's objectives in one turn.
Not the Chimera over and over.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just so because also they're not limited, which is dumb. So you could like there would just be these turns where people like play 2 of them plus a Chimera, and you're like, this is just dumb. And then I think that also sometimes people would play that as like a one-of index, where if the deck was a little light on money, you could be like, oh well, I get the 2 for 2, I get the 2 for 1, I get 2 1-for-1s, and I get an elite resource. And the Death Star itself has always been kind of an afterthought. Like people don't ever try to build it because it's really hard to get up to $12. And I think there's enough non-limited money here that you can say I got the 6 base money from the format, but then I also can just get enough 2-for-1s that I could realistically just start jamming resources out there and try to get up to the 12 to get the Death Star out there, which would be very fun.
Okay, so we're going to be trying to build Death Stars on Darkside. Lovely.
Though, if you're worried about playing against Death Star, there is kind of a viable light side discard deck. You can just, right as I get the money, just pick it out of their hand and they can hit their life.
If you're trying to build the Death Star and then somebody hits you with the Gamblo Chud.
Yeah.
Actually, just Gamblo's pod in general could be pretty
The Gamblo Chud's like, Death Star.
Yeah.
Oh.
That would be so funny if somebody did that.
Yeah. Hashtag Herglicht.
Yeah. Okay. I'm seeing the counterplay.
Yeah.
So we got Protected Generator now. Whoa, that thing again. So promotions going in this.
So, all right, promotions in, but the targets that it can go on aren't nearly as abusive.
Yeah, you got so for tactics, you got the guy that comes with. You got Veers, and then Stark.
But I guess you have
Stark is always only just one tactics, right? Because unless he's attacking.
If he's attacking, yeah. So him and another Navy Chud at a damaged objective.
Yeah, while he's attacking, he just has 5 icons.
No, it's while he's attacking a damaged objective, right?
Oh, and a damaged objective? Okay.
Yeah. So
It's
it's not giving much.
He could dish out a bunch of guns, bombs, and attack.
So yes, promotions in the pool, but it's more in there because we wanted some more ATSDs for reasons.
Okay. Now we got Emperor's Legion. Oh, here's some free scout troopers. That pod's solid. Okay, so we got a bunch of troopers. Family connections, more troopers that protect.
Tag can be a nice promotion target also. Like if you're going aggro troopers,
yeah,
getting 2 extra bombs on guys is nice.
Well, speaking of aggro troopers, we got reinforcements here. So Darkside.
All right, so it is possible for the Death Star to be the top unit in the discard pile. And someone could reinforcements into a free Death Star.
Reinforcements.
If that happens, let us know.
So I already have the deck. It's 2 Witten, 2 Death Star, 2 reinforcements, 2 of Imperial Bureaucracy, and then 2 of something else. And what you do is you just try to keep recurring Watchful Eyes to guarantee that you always get the Scavengers objective up top. You throw the Death Star in the bin. You can also use Bureaucracy to get rid of Navy guys in the bin. to make sure that the Death Star is always on top. And then when the objective blows up, you flip into Scavengers, Death Star comes out. Or sorry. And then actually, hold on, am I doing this wrong? Sorry, not Scavengers. You flip into Reinforcements.
And then pull out the Death Star.
Yeah, but also make sure you don't have 3 commits out, or you can't do it. I don't think, right? I think you have to have an open commit.
Yeah. Is there anything in here that lets you damage your own objectives? Because that would be what the ideal 5th pod would be. Is just a way that you could instantly burn your own objectives.
Not often.
Okay, so our players will have to look for that combo.
So
right.
Yeah.
So we're building a Death Star, and Witten's paying for it.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So what do we got next? Reinforcements. That's another one of my favorite enhancements in the game that sees way too little play. All right. General's Imperative.
He gives troopers guns, right?
He gives troopers and walkers guns.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot about that part of his text, because those ATSTs in his pod are terrible.
Yeah.
If the Protect the Generator guys have 2 guns and a blast, and they can untap themselves, and now you're cooking.
Yeah. You can also give the Protect the Generator chuds shielding, too, with Endor Gambit. So they can be shielding in 2 fights and get an extra gun from Veers. We have a little Walker Apocalypse. Look, we had to do something because we couldn't run any capitals. So.
Okay, so we got walkers and troopers and Navy. Dark Time for the Rebellion.
Dark Time for the Rebellion.
No walkers or troopers there, but you get heavy
fire. You get the weird MTV vehicles.
The MTVs are pretty awful. But Stark has potential.
Stark has potential. I like the event.
The event's really good.
Marsh Moraine is passable. I'd maybe cut the Moraine personally, but
depends how much you want to lean into Navy aggro.
Yeah, but like at 3 costs, like you're not really dropping units to swing with that turn, so it's kind of like a win more card, I feel.
Yeah.
No, you got the Legion. So the Legion gives you guys you can shit out for nothing.
Yeah, but you're already attacking anyways. Like you already have to start the attack. I guess if they're already out, sure.
Scavengers also gives you free bodies.
I guess with the Protect the Generator guys too, they can like multi-attack. Maybe get some unopposed a few times. All right, Lord Vader's Command.
Vader's here.
Yeah. Feel free. You can cut the money, dude. That guy is like one of the worst cards in the game.
Yeah, there's I think the money guy is a cuttable guy. The droids I've really loved, but they're just a little too expensive.
Yeah, but they're still better than the money guy.
Yeah, the money's pretty awful.
Everything in the game is better than the money guy.
I don't know. Maybe you need him to ramp into a Death Star.
Yeah, that's the big brain play, Mick.
He's not limited. He's got 2 money on him.
Yeah, if you're going for the Death Star, he's the type of card that you would want to have because it would just help you get the money early.
All right. Why do I foresee now him and the Dengar money playing the Death Star? Yeah.
The Death Star would come out focused, but then you can just sack one of the dudes that built it, unfocus it. Yeah. Yeah.
Now we're thinking.
Now we're cooking. Yeah.
Now you're playing Dengar.
Okay. And Endor Gambit. I kind of like all the cards in this pod. Like the walkers are good. The dude's good.
Those ATSTs are solid. You play them. They have 3 health.
They get a 3rd gun with Veers. So
hard to remove.
Is the dude an officer?
I think so.
So you could throw a if you really need to.
Yeah, he's a white tactics. He can be promoted.
But those ATSTs draw you cards too. That's so good.
Okay, have 3 guns if you have meters.
Take them prisoner. Hey, that has removal in it.
That's a real pod.
That's troopers.
It has 3 incredible events.
Yeah, there's also a way to break that holdout blaster in there.
There is, yeah.
Oh yeah, you can also break pilots. So maybe that Heroes of the Rebellion sees play.
Huh.
Yeah, before you tear that pilot apart.
Text. Okay, for the neutral, we got Across the Junlin Wastes.
Yeah, so if you're worried about missing out on some tactics, there you go. There's 3 units with tactics and a unit with double guns. Also, the Bantha triggers off of Scavengers, which we have Witten.
Oh, okay. More Witten or more Bantha triggers.
Yeah.
How does Bantha work again?
It's like whenever you play a Scavenger, pick up like enhancement out of your discard or something.
Does it have to be specifically play or put into play?
I think it's play.
Oh.
I got it.
Have to double check that.
Play.
You can start looping the gaffy stick, certainly.
Oh, yeah, the gaffy stick, 3 pips, and start looping it, yeah. Honestly, though, I mean, unless you're really focused on that, the Bantha is probably the weakest link in that pod. But
I think so, yeah. Yeah, the Tuscans are so good.
yeah, the Tuscans are good, the weapon's good.
Maybe I just run all the Tuscans.
I kind of want to have Witten with a gaffy stick, honestly, but...
Yeah, the Bantha's kind of whatever. I think you can cut it. Because you probably only want run that pod as a one-of anyways.
Maybe.
I mean, there are some things that are worth picking up with it.
I think there's reasons to go to 2.
Yeah. All right, so core Boba Fett, my man.
He has protection from Mio, which is relevant.
He's solid. He gets things off the board.
Yeah, he can get targeted strike.
I think, yeah, that pod becomes a lot better once you cut
any card out of it. Yeah, when you cut a card of choice, that pod gets better.
Because like the pistol's fine and the armor's okay.
Which I think that's an interesting thing in this pool. So you look at something like Endor Gambit, where you don't really want to cut any of the cards, right? All the cards are kind of fine. But then you look at Boba Fett, and that has multiple cards that you'd be very happy to cut. And so part of deck building in this is going to be, there are pods that are a little bit better than others, but how much better are they if the replacement doesn't actually improve the pod that much? Whereas if you have a bunch of bad pods, how much is their improvement when you get rid of some of the chaff? You know? And like Boba Fett, there's multiple cards in there that you could just get rid of and immediately become so much better.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't get rid of the objective.
Yeah, that's pretty awful.
But yeah, I could see Boba Fett being a terror. All right, Hunt for Han Solo. So I am really excited about this in the pool because the event is the bee's knees.
Oh yeah, it's a Jedi mind trick basically, but 2.
Yeah,
and there's a nice easy cut, right? Because
sometimes
is that the pod with the carbonite chamber itself?
Oh yeah. The enhancement's an instant cut. It does nothing.
Sometimes you really have to carbon freeze.
Well, it doesn't do nothing. You can get rid of the Leia.
It does nothing.
You can keep Leia's Bothans from hurting you.
The ships have 3 health, right?
I think they do. Yeah, they're pretty.
Something.
They only have black gun, black bomb, but they're both black. It's 3 health.
Yeah, you're not really getting mains from this, but
might have. I mean, there's a Han Solo to capture on light side, so
you can capture Han Solo. He still gets his text when he leaves play, but yeah.
He captures them from hand, right? Like it's like when they strike, you reveal a card. If the card's a unit, it gets captured.
Yeah, the objective is like whenever you capture like anything, right?
I think the objective is when you capture something, you get $1, and if you captured Han Solo, you get a dial tick as well.
Yeah,
I think you get to unfocus a scum unit.
I think it's better than that. I think it's like any scum card.
Yeah, the trick is the annoyance is that Boba Fett often kills his targets, so he's not capturing them.
Yeah, too bad he can't. Too bad he can't use that enhancement from Ma, huh? The Judio.
Okay, we also have Dengar, the original Dengar.
The good Dengar.
Just note that this Dengar, unlike Rex and other Dengar, is not limited to different icons. So if you have 10 cards under him, he can get 10 tactics.
Oh, 10 black tactics. Huh.
The ships, I think people are going to realize, are a revelation.
The ships do work.
Yeah. They're gonna,
they're gonna be eating poets.
Yeah, they kill the artist. They kill the ballistics chud. They kill Serenda's chud. They get Deso's chud. Like there's a lot of babies that run around, and these things can just go and gobble them all up.
And you don't have to play with the enhancement.
Well, unless you're trying to build the Death Star.
Unless you want to build the Death Star.
Yeah, they definitely make a Dead Poet Society. So.
Okay. Oh, Greedo came in here. There's more removal.
There's some real removal there.
Yeah, that pod's solid.
Just cut one of the chuds.
More removal. We get Merc support.
Does Merc support have good enough targets to cheat in?
Cheating in a Fett is pretty funny on defense.
So you can cheat in a Fett.
Yeah, because you can capture one guy in tactics, another one. That's actually how I survived the Dash Freeholder regional back in the day. Was Merc supporting in a core Fett.
You could
adds 2 Freeholders.
The IG.
Yeah.
So there's real targets for it.
Yeah, in regular constructed play, that you can actually like flash in snoofas with that. It's pretty funny.
Okay, so we got Scavengers. We know what Daniel wants to do with Witten. That's crazy.
Witten also could just be good. Like he has some really nice text. The ships are fine. Watchful Eyes is probably what gets cut if you're not going for the combo. But if you are going for the Death Star combo, it becomes the linchpin of the deck.
Right. Okay, so we also got Best Credits Can Buy.
Hey, we have a lot of immortal units in this pool. Huh?
Yeah, those Z95 Headhunters are good. Yeah. Wait.
Could this be Virago's time?
Yeah. Also, blanking the capitals, not bad on light side. Ripping the targeted strike off the X-wings, not bad. Yeah, the objective does some work.
True.
Next, we have Mick's favorite pod to play against.
Oh man, it's awful. I haven't won against it once.
What's in that pod? So there's Danik.
There's 2 of the O's.
What are the other 2 cards?
The calculated wager was the real selling point for me back in the day because I used to like to run it with like seeds and the Imperial Fist.
It lets you pull back a fake card, right?
Yeah. After you lose an edge battle, you pick any card from the edge stack back to its owner's hand.
Yeah. So there was an awful Danik Jericho Imperial Fist deck.
Yeah.
Also, does that card cost? Is it 1 or 0?
Danik is pretty solid. He makes like while he's attacking, all your white icons are black. So things like Stalker and like a bunch of other things that we'll see, like his text is pretty good. He's also got a supporting fire.
That's probably the cut.
Okay, Iggy D made it in. Automated Assassin again.
Iggy D made it in. Yeah, so there's some potential removal. There's actually some targets for his money to hit, so that's up to you if you want to keep that in or not. His chud's great. There's enough droids in the pool, like weird droids, that the event might help you on a turn.
If you want to make the Iggy D Insane deck, do you have enough capture? Because you got the Eater of Luck, right? So you can punt on edge battles, right? Get some capture that way. Is there anything else in here that helps on that front? I guess take them prisoner, and cruel interrogations can get you 1. But I don't know what else you would have that can make that deck start cooking.
What, to get captures?
Yeah.
We have captures.
Because they have, I guess Boba Fett can kill a guy, so Boba Fett gets one. Then if you drop a Sane or ADD, the other one becomes worthless.
Yeah. I mean, Greedo's in the pool too, so.
Oh, okay. Okay, so there's enough for them.
Greedo also has bounty. Like, if you throw bounty on a Chud, they have like 2 of that, you can maybe get, kill the other one with the Iggy or Yasan. All right, coming in on the home stretch.
My favorite pod, patrolling the wastes. Klaatu, Barada.
Yeah.
There's some fun stuff there.
There's a lot of great stuff in this pod. It's got a protection. It has the cargo skiff that just protects bounty hunters and mercenaries.
There's your Boba Fett protection.
Good.
Actually, Boba's he's looking pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that cargo skiff can keep him around. That's what I'm going to be playing, Aslan. Yeah. Oh.
Doesn't it have like some weird enhancement?
Yeah, there's like another enhancement with your shielding.
It does. Gives a ship a health and shielding.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
And then there's a fate card.
Protection.
So what gets cut in that?
Probably
all the
enhancement.
Yeah.
Although I've seen some argument, like, Barada has never been all that great for me.
He's the tactics, though.
I think that's Klaatu. Barada's the black bomb white gun.
Oh, okay, sorry.
He can turn shields into gun bomb.
Mm-hmm.
You'd think there'd be something there, but
is it bomb for the phase or bomb for the strike?
Ooh, I think it's phase.
So there could be something where you use that guy with the headhunter to give him extra icons, and then on top with the headhunter event.
Oh, and then strike multi.
Yeah, or with the ATSTs.
Mm-hmm.
The Endor boys.
Yeah, he might not be bad. It just depends on the deck, right? I think some decks, if they have like a high amount of vehicles, maybe actually cut the fate card. But then if like they don't have the vehicles, they maybe just cut the enhancement.
Yeah, it could be fun throwing those enhancements on a bunch of ATSTs. More reliable shielding, more health.
Or I guess if you're all in on like the ships, you might not need the bounty hunter protection. Like if you're not running bounty hunters, then the protect doesn't become as meaningful.
Okay.
All right, so we'll see what people come up with.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. So once again, the deck building constraints are you must play a 10-pod deck.
Mm-hmm.
No more, no less. And then from each pod, you pull out one of the cards from the draw deck. And then you'll have removed 10 cards, and then you throw in 6 1/1 limited monies, a heat, a target of opportunity, a protection, and a twist of fate.
Yeah. Harvesting the money is going to be a bit of a pain, I think. Because like the fate cards are pretty easy, right? You just go to the neutral fate card ones for light and dark, and you can get the twist, the heat, and the target. But then getting the 1-for-1 monies, because like typically in these tournaments, I'll have like 4 to 6 decks at a time, so I'll have to like pluck out a whole bunch of 1-for-1 resources.
Oh, I see. More than just the 10 that you would normally.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's say I run 2 decks for each side. That means I'll need to have 12 1-for-1s that I pull out of my box.
And you think that it should be that you should be running like 2 from each affiliation?
That's how. I mean, it honestly is probably easier to get it that way, right? Like you can get the 2 Dagobah training grounds from Yoda. You can get the 2 Rebel ones from Hera, and then you can go get the 2 yellow ones from Corlin.
Yep.
Right. So that way you could just get the 2/2/2 not get hosed by that. I don't think, is there any other neutral 1-for-1s that you could get? Because like Darkseid also has that, like you have prized possession for scum. You have
you can only do the scum or the Sith.
It's not as big for Darkseid though, because like Lightside doesn't have.
Like Edict may say otherwise.
Okay, so maybe for Darkseid you go 3/3, but then Lightside you kind of have to go 2/2.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be fun, but yeah, I have to get going here. So
excellent. So I will get this posted up in Cardgamedb. We will run sign up through I think about 2 weeks. So first weekend in April. When you sign up, please let me know what avatar you want to play with. So I'm taking Rebel Kyle again. His time's come. Maybe it's my time.
There you go. There you go.
Hey, we should. So I think the name of the format isn't decided. So people, when they apply, when they get their avatar, should also vote on one of the names. So we'll have like a short list of names that could be used for the format. Well, what's the list at right now? We have like
universal basic income,
mm-hmm.
The expendables, the weakest links.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
You can call it the welfare format too.
Yeah.
Right. You can call it. My personal like starting point was like call it the support format or like the essentials format, just because that has like a positive overtone. But if you want to just make fun of the format, there's more negative turns you could take with that.
I don't question the format. I question Josh's choice of pods.
It'll be fun though. Like if you don't have to worry about the money, some of these not great pods will seem a lot more playable.
There's a lot of cool interactions. Yeah, I look forward to it a lot. All right.
I have to get running. Thanks, guys.
Okay. Yep. Have a good one.